Today, I'm going to be doing three things. One, I'm going to show you how to color grade this washed out, overexposed video. Second thing I'm going to do is enjoy a nice cup of coffee while we're at it. And the third thing I'm going to be doing is occasionally petting my dog here, who is always begging me for attention. So here we are inside of Adobe After Effects, and I have some video footage of this beautiful brunette here just kind of sitting up against this fence here. And we got some leaves and some trees in the background here. And to be honest, this is kind of what this video looks like in my opinion. She does not look comfortable for some reason. She looks kind of a little awkward, as you can tell by the look on her face. This is kind of what I think the story is behind that. We have your typical photographer or videographer, and he's just an underachiever. He's not getting enough views or likes on his stuff. So he comes across this beautiful brunette here, and she's all, "Score!" So he whips out his camera, starts videoing her, and then all of a sudden she notices this random guy taking her picture or her video, and she's all, okay, this random dude is stalking me and he's taking my picture. What do I do? Do I smile or do I tell him to go away? What do I do? I don't know what exactly is going on beyond that, but regardless, this is a very beautiful shot here. So the first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is take our video footage and I'm going to go ahead and drag it into a new composition. So here we are to start with, and as I said earlier, this is a pretty washed out video footage, and it's a little overexposed here, but that can be fixed here by just a few simple tricks. So I'm going to go ahead and go to Layer, New, Adjustment Layer, and then I'm going to go to Effect, Color Correction, and apply a Lumetri color. So I will start off with a basic color correction here. The first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is take our shadows, and I'm just going to go ahead and decrease them a little bit, and that's going to add more contrast to our shot here. And already you can see that that's starting to, look a lot better than earlier before. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and leave that at -130. And I'm going to go ahead and do the same with our blacks here too. Now, I don't want to increase them. I'm going to go ahead and decrease them. You don't want to do it too much because otherwise you're going to start losing some information, like as you can see in the tree here. Yeah, so -100 looks pretty good there too. And now let's go ahead and play with the highlights a bit. So playing with the highlights gives it a really nice touch too here. It kind of adds more attention to her face here. It also kind of adds it makes the colors on the leaves pop a little bit more here, so that's good. I'll probably just leave it at about 50 here. And I'm probably just going to bring the exposure up just a little bit. Not too much, though. So I think maybe about a 0.3 looks pretty good there, too. And I might also add some contrast to that as well. I'll go ahead and leave the contrast to about maybe 40. And let's go to the white balance here. I might increase the temperature just a little bit. So as you can see, increasing the temperature just kind of makes it more warmer here and adds more sun to our footage here. So as you can see, this is starting to turn out really nicely here. Here's the before and here's the after. So far as you can see, we came a pretty long ways, but we can do more, so let's keep going at it. So I'm going to go ahead and go down to the creative here, and I'm going to go ahead and increase the vibrance a little bit. Not too much here, so probably right around 50, I'd say looks pretty good here too. And I'm going to increase the sharpening some too. And that just adds more details to her outfit here and to her hair as well. So probably right around maybe, 20. I'd say it looks pretty good. And then I'm going to go ahead and go over to the look here. And I'm just going to go ahead and cycle through all these presets until I find one that looks good in my opinion. Yeah, this one I really like here. It adds a lot more color to our background here, and it adds some more color to her as well here. But it's a little bit too much, so what I can go ahead and do is go to the intensity and decrease that. So I think I'll probably just go ahead and leave the intensity at 50. Oh, and my dog is here, by the way, too. He came back from outside, and now he wants to be pet, so I'm just going to pet him while I do this and enjoy a cup of coffee. Too bad I don't have, like, 3 limbs at once, or otherwise I can do everything. And now the last thing I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go down to the vignette here, and I'll increase the amount to, I'd say, no, I don't want to increase it because that's going to add white. I want black, so I'm going to go ahead and, I think, decrease that. Yeah, decrease that. Let's see, I think I'm going to go ahead and go to maybe about -3. There we go, that looks pretty good. The nice thing about vignette is that it's going to darken the corners of our video here, and it's going to add more focus and attention to our subject, which is what we want. Let's see if what happens when I increase the amount. Nope, don't want to increase it. I'll go ahead and decrease that. And so I'll just go ahead and change that to about a value of 40. And there we have it. So far this is looking really amazing here. So here's the before and here's the after. Oh, and I'm getting some Snapchat notifications from my sister. Alright, so that's done with for the Lumetri color, but I also want to go ahead and apply a photo filter to this as well. So I'm going to go ahead and create another adjustment layer, and then I'm going to go ahead and add Lumetri color again. And this time I'm going to apply a LUT, which is short for lookup table. And I'm just going to go ahead and cycle through these until I get one that's pretty desirable to my taste. Yeah, I might just go with the first one, which is the Alexa default. And I'm going to go ahead, but since it's kind of too much or a little too harsh, I'm just going to go ahead and decrease the opacity some. So there we are. Probably about 20 sounds really good there too. Alright, now what else can we go ahead and do to make this look even better? So we can probably add some sunlight to our leaves here. As you can see that there's some sun coming off these leaves and there's some sun being bounced onto her hair. And also when we applied the Lumetri Color Effect to this video, we also kind of affected the fence here. And I don't really want that. I want to keep the fence, still gray a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and just take our original footage, duplicate that, bring it on top here, and then I'm going to go ahead and just mask out the fence. And then what I'm going to go ahead and do is click on the stopwatch on these two mask paths. That's going to add a keyframe. And then I'm going to go ahead and scrub through our footage and then move the points around too, so that way our mask points stay with the fence. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the mask up points here, and I'm going to go ahead and decrease the opacity some. So I'll just bring that down to, maybe about 60% looks good. I also kind of want to feather the edges too, so I'll push F to bring up the mask feathering, highlight both of them, and then just increase the feathering. About 45 sounds about good there. Alright, so far it's looking pretty amazing. One thing that it did do though is that we got too much yellow on her skin here, and I just think that looks a bit unrealistic here. So I'm just going to go ahead and fix that by adding a new adjustment layer. Let's go to Effect and then a Hue Saturation. I'll go over to the yellows and then maybe just kind of like decrease the yellow, the saturation on the yellow. And so that did a pretty good job here, but it also took away some of the sunlight on our leaves here, and we kind of want some sun in our background too. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to take our bottom 4 layers, duplicate them by pushing Control and then D, that's going to duplicate them, and then I'm going to go ahead and bring them to the top, and then I will pre-compose this by going to Layer and then Pre-compose. And then I'm going to go to Effect, Keying, Extract. This is a really nice effect. It kind of acts like, blend if inside of Photoshop. So I'm going to go ahead and take our black point here and just increase that value until we start to see that it blends in with our bottom adjustment layer. And then I'm going to go ahead and take the softness and increase that as well. Alright, so there we are. That's starting to look really nice. Before and then after. Alright, the last thing I want to go ahead and do is add like a sun flare or a sun gradient. And to do that, I'm going to go to Layer, New, Adjustment Layer. And then I'm going to go to Effect, Generate, Gradient Ramp. And I'm going to go ahead and choose it from Linear Ramp to Radial Ramp. I'll take the white here and then make that into like a bright yellow orangish color. I'll go ahead and swap colors here. And I'm going to set the blend mode to Screen. I'm going to take our little origin cursor here and then just kind of drag that far off to the top right corner. And then I might just darken that up and add more contrast to it by adding a curves adjustment. Alright, that is looking beautiful here. Here's the before and after. Alright, well thanks very much everybody for staying tuned. Please be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more videos.